Reg, on to you.
Oh, me. Okay. So I am the entertainment guy, right? So Shang-Chi has definitely gotten me, right? I'm not a big fan of Shang-Chi, just as to say it's a relatively cheesy Disney movie. Marvel franchise, what do you expect? Okay, my vote is Deadpool, Doctor Strange, Black Panther. All right, so everyone else fits the narrative a little bit too much, but it's grossing very good numbers as we discussed last week. With Shang-Chi grossing, I think 8.3 million just on the day of launch on Thursdays, right? So that is a great indicator. And Disney is definitely going to capitalize on this. And they have announced that they will be sending 6 films to theater exclusive release. So this is extremely important and extremely powerful. Let's not forget that Disney does make a whole lot of money, billions of dollars every year, having you go to the movie theaters, right? So Disney will double down the box office in response to recent hits, giving it leading position in theatrical releases. So some of the new upcoming films will be Eternals, The Last Duel, West Side Story, Ron Goes Wrong, and The Kingsman. They will all hit the exclusive release window of 45 days, right? And if you didn't know, movies are the highest grossing, most profitable way to monetize content at this moment in time. Okay, so if you think about it, Disney has a very interesting business model, right? We've always talked about Disney as this theme parks or just content company, but if you think about it, they have multiple ways to monetize their content, whether is it through merchant licensing, whether is it setting up rides in their theme parks, whether is it going on streaming services that they've built, or whether is it just going straight to the movies, right, to get you to purchase. So what Disney is doing, I think it's pretty cool because they're going to essentially monetize up front. The problem with all streaming services is they take time to take your money. So they have to put out all the upfront capital, which is why Netflix is super debt loaded, 25 billion in debt, I think. Spotify is also loading up debt, and a lot of all these other content players are all loading up debt. Disney is taking this opportunity for movie releases and make back a lot of money, and all these cash will give them advantage in the streaming play and advantage in continuously creating new content. So what are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, no, I think, you ran to watch Shang-Chi right before our podcast last week on Tuesday.
I was almost late, guys. I was almost late. So yeah.
But I think that's the behavior we should be talking about, right? Because it's not only you. It's my friends that are refusing to go out because of all the COVID issues. But you know what? Shang-Chi's in the cinema and they're going to go see it, right? And they actually, effectively change their behavior for this movie. And so maybe this is what's contributing to the great capital gains that Disney's seeing, or people are just bored of staying at home and want a reason to get out. Like either way, it works for Disney, right? And sometimes the good old fashioned cinemas are the way to go. 45 days is what you mentioned before it's released on Disney Plus. Is that right?
And different movies will be different for sure, but the whole idea is that they will go in for an exclusive window of 45 days. Because Disney, remember the saga with Scarlett Johansson?
I was going to say.
Yeah,
She must be pretty pissed off right now that, after her movie, everything goes live.
Yeah,
exactly, right? One. So, I mean, she was the first big saga post Disney Plus, right? So after Disney came out with Disney Plus, they haven't had any big issue until Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
Right. So she came out and said that, this is not acceptable. Of course, if you think about it, the biggest money comes in theaters. Movie theaters, that's where they make their billions of dollars in a matter of weeks, guys. Right. So relative to what they can make out of the streaming service, Scarlett Johansson is going to get a much smaller pie. So in this situation, man, it's a lot of money in play, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think Scarlett Jo was one. The other one was Jungle Cruise. I think that was The Rock. That also, I think, filmed both, and this was the first one. And I think they realized, that's what I'm thinking, right? Is it money making because they have to, or because what's happening in Scarlett Jo? They're like, you know what? I'm just going to put it up anyways, get some money there, so at least they don't complain so much.
No, I beg to differ, because if you think about it, they decide on this strategy after Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi is a data point. Right? It's not like after Johansson, it was like, okay, everybody movie release. No. Right? So after Scarlett Johansson's problem, a situation. Okay, I'm not picking on her, but because I think as a movie star, it's a very big thing for a lot of them. They do make a lot of their money from the release and from box offices. So I totally get that she's very angry and irritated. But Disney did not budge after that. Okay, Disney really went into this new move of releasing all the new films in theaters after Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi showed a sign. 8.8 million, or was it 8.3 million on the first day of box office? That is pretty wild. Right? It's on track to break, this year's numbers, and there'll be 300 millions at least just to get from this movie. And by the way, I think Shang-Chi is a relatively low-cost production relative to all the other Marvel franchises and Marvel movies, right? If you've watched it, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to spoil you, but go ahead. All right, so I think Disney is making an informed decision to get money, to get cash, so that they can play the game of streaming, so that they can, reboot their theme parks and do whatever that they need to do. And that's the power of Disney, right? I've been talking to people about the power of Disney for years and years and years, right? And yeah, I was one of the lucky people that bought into Disney in the $90, $100 range.
Wow, nice.
Right, yeah. Before everyone started coming, it's like, yeah. If anybody could beat Disney, could beat Netflix at streaming, it's Disney. That is my view, because they have a big repertoire to monetize. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, what are your thoughts?
No, I totally agree. Disney has a lot of ways to monetize, and them going down this route is in a sense, it's like really just showing off to everyone else. Like, hey, can you continue to, buy up content, create content, and not take on that additional debt, right?
Yeah, no, fair enough. I love the way you said show off.
Yeah,
so true.
Disney just is flexing, right, at this moment in time. Yeah,
pure flex. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. So if you are thinking of Disney, you got to look at these different revenue streams, and it's looking good, really. Let's see how we go.